So the first step in getting a router configured and set up for network connectivity is to access the command line, and that's what this course is focusing on, is how to actually configure a router with a command line. So we have to gain access to the command line interface of the router, and the router that I'm going to be demonstrating for this course is router 1, whose name in the topology is West. In order to get connectivity, you really have two choices for accessing the command line. You can either do that out of band, which requires physical access to the router through the console port, or you can do it in band. But in band requires that the router is already set up, it's already been given an IP address, and that you can reach it across the network. So since this is a brand new router out of the box, we have to access this router through an out-of-band connection. And that means that we have to connect a cable from the host to the console port on the router. In Packet Tracer, what we are going to do, and if you happen to have access to Packet Tracer, there's a little lightning bolt on the bottom left of the Packet Tracer screen. And that lightning bolt, when you click on it, it actually provides you with all of the different cable types that are available to connect the different devices in your network. The blue cable is the icon that represents the console cable. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to click on that little blue cable, and that changes the mouse into what looks like a little Ethernet adapter attached to it. And we're going to come over to host 1, and we're going to click on host 1, and the RS-232, or the console port, opens up and displays for us to connect that cable to. That simulates the console port that would be on the back of a PC. We click on that, and you can see the little blue cable is attached. We come up here to the West router. We click on the West router, and the ports available on the West router are auxiliary, console, and fast Ethernet ports. Those are the available ports. And since we want a console in, we, as you might recall from the picture of the back of the router, we're plugging in into that console port on the top right of the actual physical plane on the back of the router. That gives us our physical connectivity. Again, that is out of band because that connection is not on the live network, but is simply an extra cable that we have physically attached to the router from the PC. As a FYI, newer host machines, newer PCs, they're no longer shipped with a serial COM port, so as such, you would need to use a USB to DB9 adapter, and you can purchase those online. You can purchase them at electronic stores, and essentially turns your USB port into a low-speed serial port.